Excuse me, I'm a bit emotional. I do feel, in my opinion, that my sister is responsible for this. He would not be there if it wasn't for her treatment of him. I guarantee it.
All right, let's unpack this mess in a way that cuts through the noise and makes sense. Buckle up because this one is full of raw family drama, Meghan Markle accusations, a terrifying natural disaster, and a whole lot of public mudslinging. We've got Thomas Markle, Meghan's estranged dad, trapped on the 19th floor of a high-rise in the Philippines after a 6.9 earthquake.
Breaking right now, a very worrying development for Thomas Markle, the father of the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, who is currently trapped in a high-rise building in the Philippines after a major earthquake. His daughter, Samantha Markle, the sister of Meghan, has posted on X in the past hour, "My father is stuck on the 19th floor of a building in the Philippines after a massive earthquake, and he can't walk and he is trapped. Shame on my disgusting, evil, fucking sister forever putting our father in this position. I hope she is cursed. Karmic vengeance will be mine. Shame on Harry and Meghan, may they be damned. He gave her everything, and this is how she repays him. Why don't Harry and Meghan spend some money and get their fucking asses in a helicopter and go save my dad? Gloves off, bitch." And at this very worrying moment, Samantha, my good friend, joins us from Florida. Sam, this is just awful. This is just awful. So this earthquake looks like it was very bad, 6.9 on the Richter scale. And because of his health issues, your father is trapped in this high-rise building. What can you tell us? What's his current situation?
A dear friend of theirs is there, so I just got word back that, excuse me, I'm a bit emotional. I just got word back that they are okay, but I think being a 6.9 on the Richter scale, yes, I was very emotional. And I do feel, in my opinion, that my sister is responsible for this. The PR media attacks that made him reclusive, that made him decline physically and health wise because of the stress and not getting out enough because he was having to hide from media. Her treatment of him, the heartbreak, the disregard, the nasty fake news articles that were not true, insulting him after giving her everything, from his 40-year amazing profession, blood, sweat, and tears. And to disregard him, to bring on that stress, to force him to be reclusive, to force him to want to be in another country to hide from media, which is why he ended up in the Philippines in the first place. Never once, neither Harry nor Meghan, never once checking to see if he's okay, making sure that he was in the best of care through not one heart attack, but two, and a stroke at 82 and being unable to walk. He would not be there if it wasn't for her treatment of him. I guarantee it. And so, I was in a panic. Forgive me for my harsh words on social media, but I was in shock. I'm hurt for my dad. I'm worried about him. And they seem to be stable in the building, trapped on the 19th floor. And I said, is there anybody around to help you? There's no one there. It seems as though people have scattered. And I think emergency rescue are trying to figure out what to do with so many people there. And the biggest concern, naturally, are the aftershocks. Those buildings are not built to code. So to feel like you're trapped on the 19th floor and that you can't walk, the elevators are not working, you can't get downstairs, is terrifying. So I'm checking my phone for updates from them or anyone else to see how they are. And we just pray for them and everyone affected. It's pretty horrible because it's not like Los Angeles where the buildings are on rollers and where they can handle disaster like that. I don't think they were equipped. So I don't know the full results of this yet. I don't know what the damage is yet. I'm just standing by to hear.
100%. And I mean, I don't blame you at all, Sam, for your anger. But just to clarify, your dad, Thomas Markle, is still stuck in this building, and you are not sure about the sort of structural veracity of the building. And of course, there could be more aftershocks.
That is correct.
And he can't
So
leave the building because, what, are the lifts gone, or?
His elderly has had heart attacks and a stroke, and he can't walk. Understandably, his daughter Samantha Markle, Meghan's outspoken half-sister, completely lost it on social media, blasting Meghan and Harry for abandoning him. She accused Meghan of pushing their father into isolation through stress and PR attacks, claiming he wouldn't even be in the Philippines if it weren't for her treatment of him. First things first, this is a real emergency. A 6.9 quake is no joke. Buildings in the Philippines are not always built to the earthquake standards of somewhere like Los Angeles. The fear of aftershocks, being on the 19th floor and having no elevator access is terrifying, especially for an elderly man with serious health problems. Samantha's fear is genuine, and you can hear it in her voice when she talks about not knowing if he'll make it out.
yeah, and I said to the friend of his who was visiting, and my brother, I said, get him out of the building, find the stairwell, put him on cushions and a shower curtain, and slowly pull him down the stairs. I mean, easier said than done for 19 floors. I said, but you don't want to be in that building if there are stress cracks and it crumbles with aftershocks. So I think at this point, that's the biggest concern. Praying that nothing happens. And again, I know it's not realistic. There's no helicopter. There's no one that can get there in time, land on the roof. I mean, that happens in movies, but it doesn't really happen in real life. So um, it's just a shame that he was ever in this position. And no, someone said on X, it was quite cruel. They said, your sister didn't cause earthquakes. She didn't cause your dad to be in the Philippines or have bad health. Yes, she did. Because without everything that she had done, in my opinion, he wouldn't be there. He wouldn't escape there for a peaceful life from the nasty fake PR, fake news media attacks, from his broken heart, and he wanted solace. So this is really unfortunate, but thankfully there is a good friend there with him now, from the UK. God bless her. I love her. And hopefully they will all three be safe, as well as everyone else there.
Yes, but your point is, this is yet another opportunity where your sister, who does have limitless resources compared to a normal human being, and also limitless opportunities to actually get to the diplomats, get to the consul for Americans in that country, you are calling on her, Sam, to step in and actually do something practical to help get your father out of this building now, because that's what needs to happen, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess my halo is a little bit tarnished. I don't really feel like much of a saint right now, on the grounds that through 2 heart attacks and a stroke, he hasn't been there. He's been, in Mexico with hurricanes, with bad weather. But I think more to the point, she's running around reportedly paying for humanitarian awards for herself. And my father is hanging on for dear life. So I'm sorry. In my opinion, you don't deserve any award. And if you pay for it yourself, it's even more of a tragic comedy, given the circumstances with your own father on so many occasions. Just no.
Absolutely. So, Sam, you're saying to your sister, help your dad, help your dad.
You can't get blood from a rock. If she hasn't given a care by now, it's not going to happen. But I think this should be on her conscience. I'm not sure that she has one. How serious does it have to get? How many people do there have to be in her wake that she seemingly has no regard for? Least of all, the man who his whole life winning 3 Emmy Awards, working 70-hour weeks to give her everything.
Yes.
This whole episode is about more than one earthquake. It's about the ongoing Markle family tragedy. A father who once supported his daughter's Hollywood dreams is now estranged and isolated. A daughter who has risen to global fame chooses distance over reconciliation. A half-sister uses every crisis to highlight what she sees as hypocrisy and cruelty. And the public is left wondering, is Meghan really as cold as her family says, or is she protecting herself from toxic relationships at all costs? The truth probably lies somewhere in the messy middle.
Dad,
Yes.
and it wasn't me, it was his blood, sweat, and tears. He was everything to her. And any fake news media that says otherwise, shame on them too. That's the ugly side of KPA.
We must never forget that. We must never forget that in all of those, especially during her teenage years, when she was at school, at university, it was not Doria who was there, it was Thomas Markle. He is now trapped on the 19th floor of a high-rise in the Philippines. Have some humanity, Meghan Markle. Have some goddamn humanity. Sam, stay with us, but I want to bring in the Hamiltons now. Christine and Neil Hamilton. I mean, Christine, this is devastating, isn't it? Just absolutely devastating.
It's horrific. I had no idea until I was listening to Samantha just now. That man gave Meghan everything, gave her life. Without him, she wouldn't be here. She wouldn't be here to be able to be prancing around on the world stage the way that she does. Any decent daughter would be rushing now to do whatever she could. As either you or Samantha said, she can open the doors, she can open any door, her and Harry, she can open diplomatic doors, she could move mountains for him. And she doesn't seem, unless she's doing it very quietly and we don't know about it, so, but I doubt it, she doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's unbelievable. This is her father. Why doesn't she do something? She can. It's in her power, possibly, to save his life. Why doesn't she do it? I'm not surprised that, Samantha, you're completely heartbroken. I mean, you've had to fight against this sort of callous indifference now for however many years it is. But this really is, even by Meghan's low standards, this is astonishing. If she doesn't move something to save him.
I mean, she is a monster of narcissism. And you would think that her PR people, if nobody else, would tell her, this is what you've got to do. I mean, she can't have a single human bone in her body, I think, if she ignores the moral obligation and personal obligation that she's got to her own father in this way. We'll see. But we've been here, in a sense, before many times in the last few years, where she has shown herself up always as somebody who's much more concerned about herself, in fact, to the exclusion of anything else, really, when you look at her history. And the only thing that matters is me. But I'll never understand what motivates her, really. Obviously, I know what I think motivates her, but I simply don't understand how any normal human being could possibly react in the way that she does to any stimulus of any kind, good or bad. It's always about promoting her career, so-called, and all about money and status, and nothing about what motivates most normal people. It's very sad, and I do hope that one way or another, Thomas is going to be rescued. And the idea of him bumping down 19 floors of a staircase, as Sammy was describing, and maybe the only way out, who knows? But I mean, what a terrible plight to be in. And how could a daughter, however estranged, possibly ignore that?
I know. And Sam, again, I think I'll obviously let you respond to that, Sam, but I think what, again, is so important to point out is that your father and Meghan had this strong relationship right up until she met Prince Harry. I mean, she would praise him on social media.
Families fracture for complicated reasons. But when natural disasters strike, those fractures look harsher, colder, and harder to justify. So, what do we take away from this? Thomas Markle's situation is tragic and dangerous. Everyone should hope he makes it out safely. Samantha Markle's fury is raw, emotional, and partly justified, but her delivery is so aggressive it risks overshadowing her message.
Well, so much has happened since then. I don't, their motives seem all over the map. But, in the ideal fairy tale, you think Prince Charming to the rescue.
Yeah.
Where has Harry been throughout all of this with my father's heart attacks, stroke, no chivalry, no military bearing, no, and he equally has treated my father horribly, has been a party to the horrible, nasty fake news, paid PR. And but why am I shocked? Why would any of us be shocked after watching, him and my diabolical, in my opinion, sister mock Queen Elizabeth when she was suffering from bone cancer? How painful,
Yeah.
how horrible. Prince Philip, why are we shocked? Why would I even expect her to develop a moral conscience or a heart now? Yeah, the Scrooge developed a heart, but I doubt my sister ever. Well, I mean, this is so extreme. There are no words. So I
No,
just,
I mean, but they are
yeah.
literally about, I mean, you mentioned it, Sam, earlier, but Christine and Neil, I'm not sure if you're aware, they are literally about to receive this fake award in New York in a few days' time, where they're being described as the humanitarians of the year. I mean, how on earth can you be a humanitarian and not step in when your father's on an earthquake-stricken building on the 19th floor in the Philippines? I mean, there's nothing humane
It's
about
no,
that.
no. I mean, in the immortal words, you simply couldn't make it up. I mean, it's given the situation with Thomas, it's horrific in the extreme. And I suppose they'll be chased some ridiculous alleged car chase all the way through New York. It's all about publicity, as Neil said. It's me, 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 and to give yourself an award. I mean, people normally award up themselves what we call the CDM, which is the Cadbury's Dairy Milk, which is just a stupid, ludicrous advertising campaign. You don't award yourself. I mean, what has she done that's so wonderfully humanitarian that loads of other people have done because they have the money, and loads of people who don't have the money but put their heart and their soul and their sweat and blood and tears into humanitarian efforts? There'll be people out in the Philippines now who deserve that award more than they do. I didn't know that. It's
Yeah,
I can't bear to watch her on television if she comes on the news. Zam.
I know. Well, look,
Honestly, Samantha, it must be awful for you to have to watch the way your sister has betrayed you and your father. I mean, my heart goes out to you. It really does. I mean, family first is a quite a good motto,
Yeah.
actually.
Well,
Uh,
it's not about the money, but what is so glaring is being so close to so many people who spend millions on a week vacation or hundreds of thousands over a weekend, who could save my dad, who could
mm,
make a difference. She could have made it so that he was in the best medical care and never had to go to the Philippines, but that he was in good care, good health, getting out and about. She could have had the fake news media lay off of him for protection of his health, knowing that he was fragile. It's just sickening being in such close proximity to solutions and people who could be change agents, but who absolutely have no regard, no morality, no heart, and who just won't lift a finger.
I
I
know.
don't get it.
I
I
know.
get
Well,
it.
look, Sam, is there anything we can do for Thomas? I mean, obviously, please pass on all of our love, all of our
Yeah.
support, but is there anything we can do? Obviously, we'll stay across this situation.
Your prayers, your thoughts are great. Thank you so much, and I will keep you updated. I think they're okay for now, so I'm just waiting to hear what's going on and if there are any rescue crews in the area. I can't imagine. They said, I asked them if there were police around or men that could help get my father down the stairs. They said no, there's nobody around.
Okay, well,
So
look,
hopefully
sending
there is.
so much love, so many prayers, Sam. Please pass on my love to your father and your brother, of course. And Sam, we'll just stay in touch over the next few hours, of course, because this is the really critical period. But thank you so much for that update. Let's hope Meghan Markle is watching and actually acts like a humanitarian. and really does something to help your father, even if she does it confidentially, just do the right thing. And thank you so much to Christine and Neil Hamilton as well. Very, very worrying developments after that 6.9 earthquake in the Philippines. And of course, praying for everyone in the Philippines as well as Thomas Markle, who is there.
Meghan and Harry's silence, whether calculated or genuine indifference, looks bad, especially with humanitarian labels being attached to them in the same news cycle. Ultimately, this is a case study in how public image clashes with private family duty. Meghan can preach compassion to the world, but until she shows it at home, critics like Samantha will always have ammunition. At the end of the day, most people don't care about PR spin. They care about basic humanity. And right now, the image of a daughter ignoring her father in crisis is sticking harder than any award Meghan and Harry could ever accept. That's the story in a nutshell. But blown up, it tells us everything about why Meghan Markle remains one of the most divisive figures in modern celebrity culture.